Selena Harrell here with Air Reinhardt Bay. Today I wanted to go over the second installation of Bay City's master plan so that you don't have to read it. So before I went over the 4 key objectives that the master plan is trying to cover, so today I wanted to go over the community identity. Now community identity, the perceptions start locally. So if you think that Bay City is the best place on earth to live at, or the worst, it is completely your own perception of whether it's warranted or not. So there are 3 big takeaways from this. One is design and development regulation, meaning that all the structures, the ones that are remaining, and new ones that get put up, match the features of the area that are already here. The second one is public and private investment. So that could be the city itself or the state coming in and developing certain areas, or it could be private investors like businesses coming in, taking over, but they still need to match the local area. And then the third one is maintenance by property owners. So if you have a saggy porch, or if your house needs a fresh coat of paint, that is on you. So, and these 3 things really affect the community identity and perceptions that the public has. Now, community involvement is the greatest challenge that we're facing right now. There are a ton of vacancies on different boards and commissions over at the town hall here. And so what they're trying to do is get more and more people involved in the community, whether it's on different boards that help regulate the government, or if it's volunteer groups, or you name it, they probably need help and they need your commitment. There is a lot of really interesting history and shared experiences that Bay Cityites have in common with each other. Well, first off, in case you didn't know, it was first established in 1837 and it was incorporated in 1865. So it was originally known as Lower Saginaw, and it was finally developed and economically grown enough to get out from underneath the umbrella of Saginaw to become the city that we know it as, which is Bay City. And due to industries that relied on its river, that is what really brought the economic development along with Bay City. So that's where we get our lumbering, our milling, and our boat building. Really cool history. And there are a bunch of unique experiences that citizens have cited, such as being stopped by a boat. I mean, who gets stopped by a boat? I mean, that's the reason why I was late for this meeting. And people are like, yeah, that's fine. I get it. Oh, the bridge was just stuck up. It happens. And that is completely unique to Bay City. We might find it really frustrating at times, but we need to take a step back, tune in, and realize how cool it is that we have 4 functioning bridges that are actively being worked on to ensure that we can get across the river so we don't have to drive all the way down to Saginaw or all the way around the other side. So just keep that in mind the next time that you get stopped, especially by a Freightliner. And then, of course, racing to the next bridge before it opens for the ship that's coming down. I mean, I have to admit, I have definitely done that once or twice. Always going the speed limit, right? We never break any laws around here in Bay City. Hell's half mile. So what the master plan is really trying to do is celebrate our culture, our shared experiences, and the uniqueness that Bay City brings. Our most prominent feature here in Bay City right now, especially with our historic districts, is the town hall. Back in 1977, they decided to keep it rather than tear it down, which would have been cheaper to do, let's be honest, and they were looking for ways to bring more development into the area. Well, they decided to keep the town hall and the clock tower, which I am very thankful for. And in case you didn't know, back in 2010, there was a fire there, and that's what really prompted the restoration of this town hall and the clock tower. And it is definitely worth a visit. If any of you guys follow me on Facebook, then you would have seen my little tour of the clock tower. And that's probably like my 5th time in there. I mean, it's free to the public and it's open during office hours. So if you work 9 to 5, just stop in during your lunch hour. I mean, it takes like 10 minutes. Moving on. It received an award from the Michigan Historic Preservation Network for the beautification of the town hall and the clock tower. In case you can't tell, the clock tower is over there. I'll put a picture up sometime too. And so it's truly unique, and it sets us apart from other, regions and areas in the state, and just in Bay County alone. I mean, next time you go down to the Bay City area, check it out. It is really worth the visit. Okay, so going back to historic districts, we have 3 historic districts. We have the downtown and the Midland Street Historic District, and these are exclusively commercial. So like Midland Street, Brooklyn Boys, Vino's, the Lumber Baron, and all those other bars that are down that street, all commercial, and it's all historic. That's why if you go up and actually look up, you'll see the year that they were established, their original names, and the original brickwork. It's really cool. And then the downtown area is all historic as well. And then, of course, the Center Avenue Historic District. And that's all those beautiful houses that have been preserved, and that's where they do their parades at, too. The Leprechaun Parade, St. Patrick's Day Parade. They go down there, and you get to see all the beautiful houses. And they actually expanded the Center Avenue District to include the original map that is nationally recognized. So now it includes over 900 structures. So it's huge. Oh, and another side note that all of these houses that are in the historic zones have been proven through studies that they not only maintain their value, but generally they go up in value instead of being run down because they have stricter regulations and people love them. I mean, you see a bright pink house with black lining. I mean, you don't really get that anywhere else, especially not any new builds. So next time you're in Bay City, check out the clock tower in the City Hall, the Historic Museum, which is right next to that, and our 3 historic districts, the Center Avenue, Downtown, and Midland Street. It's well worth it. And then, of course, the river. You can't forget about the river. It is the focal point of the city. So that is installment 2 of the Bay City Master Plan. I'll be going week by week, breaking it down for you guys so that if you haven't gotten the chance to read it, you get the synopsis of it. That way you know what's going on. And this is as current as 2017. So, and it is 2019 currently. So hopefully they revamp their master plan like they have in the past. That's why Bay City's still functioning. Until then, I will see you guys next week. If you have any questions or comments, please put them down below or send me a message. Once again, this is Selena Harrell with Air Reinhardt Bay. Happy house hunting.